Hello, everybody. Today for grammar, we're going to do something very Christmas related, as you might be able to tell with this peppermint background and all this stuff going on over here. What we're going to do is we're going to use movie quotes from the movie Elf, as you can tell here, going down the list. And we're going to try to identify pronouns. Now, to start us off here, I wanted to begin with just kind of a general reminder of what pronouns are before we get into the actual work. Okay, so once we start talking about these quotes and the assignment, I'll kind of get you set up for that. So let's go ahead and get into this and look at the overall list here. Now, we've been doing pronouns here for a while, and this is kind of the 25 most common, but there are definitely more than the pronouns you see on this list as an example. But if you remember, in basics, a pronoun is a word used in replacement of a noun. Okay, so instead of saying the same noun multiple times, like Bob, Bob's sandwich, Bob's hat, Bob went to school, you change it to he or him, or if it's in a quote, it's like I or you. So as you look through this list here, you can notice there are some of them that you don't use as often, like someone or something, themselves, everyone, nothing, anything. But there are ones that you use a lot, like I or we, him, you, he, such as those. Okay, so how are we going to work this today? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to go through these quotes from the movie. Okay, and there's 20 of them total, 20 sentences, 20 quotes. But in these quotes, there are different numbers of pronouns, and you're going to try to identify as many of the pronouns as you can. And there are actually a total of 52 pronouns. So what you're trying to shoot for is trying to get as close to 52 as you can. So it'd be like if there was a test out of 52, doesn't mean you necessarily have to find all 52, but the closer you get to that number, the better your score is going to be. All right. And as far as numbering these, I'll go ahead and tell you that if you want to number them 1 to 20, you can. If you feel like you're somebody that wants to number it 1 to 52 and try to find all 52, you can do that as well. Okay. But when you submit your answers, I'm looking more for the total number in the proper order than I am anything else. All right. So again, if you want to number it 1 to 20, you can do it that way, or you can number it 1 to 52 because there's a total of 52 pronouns. Okay. One thing before we start, I wanted to point out contractions. Contractions such as this one that have a pronoun attached to them, they do count. Okay, so they're not anything different. It's obviously a contraction for I am. But if you want to just take I'm and write that, that counts. Or if you just want to write the pronoun part of this contraction and just put I. But I or I'm will count just the same. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read through these quotes, obviously 5 per page, and as you look at them and as you hear me say them, you want to jot down as many of them as you can. But just remember, if we go back to this list, words like the or a or and, those are not going to be a pronoun. Okay, so if you get kind of confused, don't forget you can always go back to this generic list of pronouns, and there's way more than this, obviously, but this is the most common. Okay, so let's just start off here. Quote number 1. I am a cotton-headed ninny-muggins. Quote number 2. I just like to smile. Smiling's my favorite. Number 3. I'm sorry I ruined your lives and crammed 11 cookies into the VCR. Number 4. There's room for everyone on the nice list. And number 5. Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color? Now, just because we're on these first 5, I'll tell you all. Every sentence has at least one pronoun. And there are some sentences that have multiple. Okay, I won't tell you how many or which ones. But every sentence on here has at least one pronoun. Okay, so let's go on to the next set. 6 through 10. Number 6. I love you, I love you, I love you. Number 7. Of course you're not an elf. You're 6'3" and had a beard since you were 15. Number 8. Bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad. Number 9. He's an angry elf. Number 10. Does somebody need a hug? All right, so once again, every pronoun you see is fair game, even if it's mentioned multiple times. And every sentence has at least one pronoun. Every quote has at least one pronoun. All right, let's go to the next set, 11 through 15. I'm an elf. Well, technically, I'm a human, but I was raised by elves. Number 12. If you can sing alone, you can sing in front of other people. There's no difference. Number 13. I painted a picture of a butterfly. Number 14. This place reminds me of Santa's workshop, except it smells like mushrooms and everyone looks like they want to hurt me. Number 15. We elves try to stick to the 4 main food groups: candy, candy canes, candy corns, and syrup. Okay, so again, there's at least one pronoun in every sentence, and some of them have multiple. All right, last set here. Santa! Oh my God, Santa! Here! I know him! I know him! Number 17. You stink. You smell like beef and cheese. You don't smell like Santa. 18. I'm singing. I'm in a store and I'm singing. 19. You sit on a throne of lies. And the last one, number 20, it's a big one. I planned out our whole day. First, we make snow angels for 2 hours, and then we'll go ice skating, and then we'll eat a whole roll of Toll House cookie dough as fast as we can, and then to finish, we'll snuggle. Okay, so going back to the original list, I'll notice, like I said, this is the common pronouns, but there are more than just the common pronouns. And going all the way to number 20, there is a total of 52 pronouns. Okay, and don't forget, I said every sentence has at least one pronoun, or at least every quotation, I should say, has at least one pronoun. If it's one like number 17 that is the same pronoun used multiple times, they still all count individually. Okay. And if you numbered it 1 to 52, trying to get to as many as 52 as possible, you could do it that way. Or if you numbered it 1 through 20, and then let's say for number 20, you wrote all the pronouns that you saw or heard, then that's fine too. Okay, so the best way to do this, I would say, as far as submitting, is if you guys are typing it into a Google document, type it that way and then share it with me. Okay, if you want to, again, number it 1 to 52 or number it 1 through 20, just make sure that you actually put the correct pronouns to go with that number. So if you put number 17, make sure that the pronouns specifically for 17 are typed next to 17. Okay, don't just get a Google Doc open and type a bunch of pronouns and be like, yeah, that was all of them. Okay, so make sure that you actually have some kind of order to it. If you're going to try to write them on paper, which is fine, make sure that you guys take a picture of your paper or both sides of the paper and then submit it to me as well. Okay, just to make sure for you all that are submitting out there, make sure that it's the kirke@ourlords.org email. Some of y'all are telling me you're submitting stuff, but then you look at the email that it was sent to and it's not my email. It's just like a random email or it's missing a letter or something. Okay, so I'll have that in the classroom announcement. I'll have that in the posting on Google Classroom to make sure that you guys have the exact email that it needs to go to. All right. So good luck with this. Hopefully you guys get as close to 52 as possible. And we will talk to you really soon and start wrapping up this year, hopefully, at least as far as the 2020 year. And definitely the unit of pronouns. We're going to see what we can do this week and possibly wrap it up right after Christmas break. All right. See ya.